Welcome to Flashback Tracks. Travel back in time each Friday to an era of big hair, leg warmers, and Walkmans.
Far out.
Veg out with some clips from Downtime Broadcasting's promotional audio cassette magazine from the 80s and 90s, right here on the World Wide Web.
Selling 101, the Sales University of the Air.
Today's Sales 101 covers handling customer objections. We often hear the courtroom classic, "Objection, Your Honor, objection." Well, your customers are not quite that blunt, but if you don't feel their objections and make the right play, you may just as well pack up your sample case and skedaddle. We don't want to explore specific objections that the client raises because that can cover a wide range, but let's cover some basic techniques you can use to field the objections. Now, don't take our words verbatim. You've got to field any objection in your own words and your own style, but try the approach we're trying to get across.
For instance, there's the old favorite line used by salespeople for centuries that goes, "Funny you should mention that, Mr. Johnson. I was just getting there." Well, this is your way of telling Mr. Johnson that you'll be getting to the point he has raised, or his objection, in other words, in a little while. What this tactic does, however, is buy you precious time. It allows you to think and gather your resources to answer his objection when you are ready.
An often used technique is to make a comparison. If it were a price objection, you could tell Mr. Johnson that when he considers there are no plate and cut charges, it's actually a good price. Or, if he compares the cost of a box of paper clips to the cost of the entire clip holder, he'll see the holder's almost free.
How about returning the serve, just like in tennis? It's called the boomerang technique for handling an objection. If Mr. Johnson tells you the T-shirt is too expensive, you tell him that's why you presented an all-cotton shirt. It's the best buy for the budget.
Tricky as it may be, you can simply refute or deny a buyer's objections. However, this is the most dangerous of all techniques. I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, but perhaps one of my competitors gave you wrong information about this material. Our experience shows it to last long, and so on.
Another technique has you ignoring the objection. This can work only if the objection is minor, and the buyer will surely realize this as you proceed with your presentation.
Try the yes, but approach. Use the very polite, "I see your point," or "yes, but." This placates Mr. Johnson, yet diplomatically allows you to stress your counterpoints. With this method, you not only mirror his objections, but counter them as well.
Some salespeople can sidestep an objection with a bit of humor. It's a type of evasion that can ease the tension of the moment and perhaps calm the objection if it's not too serious.
Or you can return the objection back to the objector by asking questions. "Why, Mr. Johnson, don't you like the travel bag I presented?" Not only will you get specific details that you can handle, but with techniques similar to trial closing, you can bring the client around to affirm some points he likes about the product. Recognizing the positives may help him forget the negatives. Above and beyond everything we've just said, be a good listener. Not only listen for the objections, but nod to the client. Smile. Let the buyer know you're listening and understand.
Travel back in time with us next Friday as we share more clips from the 80s and 90s on another rad episode of Flashback Tracks, exclusively on Promo Corner. Time to bounce.